This EPB Classic Rerun is brought to you by Calvert and Nunn Insurance in Glasgow.
The cross-town rivals square off in the boys competition. Scott had the first game go in case somebody had to step out for something. I mean, what was the score of the first game?
Okay, it was the Trojanettes taking their 5-point lead and a win over the Lady Scotties, 46-41.
Okay, the Scotties fall to 5 wins and 4 losses. And what's the Trojanettes record?
They will go to 6-2 on the year.
Okay, Scott, thank you. So we're going to move right quickly into the starting lineups, and the Glasgow High School Scotties are the visitors. I will give those young men first. At guard, at number 22, Rod Thornton. Rod stands 5'9". He is a junior. His running mate at the other guard, number 14, Andy Falk, 5'9", senior. At center, wearing number 44, Michael Moore. He's a 6'6" junior. At the forwards, number 24, Marcus Brewer. Marcus stands 6'1". He is a junior. Number 30, Nick Porter at the other forward, a 6'1" junior. The Scotties are coached by Coach Donnie Owens and assistant coach Randy Wilkerson, and their record is 3 wins and 5 losses. Okay, fill us in on the Trojans, Scott.
Okay, for the Barren County Trojans, that guard will be number 35, John Clemens. At the other guard will be number 5, Chris Martin. At center will be Roger Lawson, number 32. And the forwards will be Ben Jesse, number 10, and Adam Gossam, number 42. The Trojans are coached by head coach Steve Riley, assisted by Lex Lindsay and Brad Johnson. And their record is 5-4.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Incidentally, Chris Martin, number 5, stands 5'11". John Clemens, his running mate at the other guard, is 6'1". Lawson at pivot is 6'6". Jesse, one forward, stands 5'10". Adam Gossam, the other forward, is 6'5" and 1/2 inches. So we're going to tune in and let you listen to the starting lineups, if we can pick them up from high up here in the top of Trojan Gym. So listen up. As you can tell, a huge crowd on hand. Well, I can hear myself. Thanks, Scott. Incidentally, for Telescripts Cable Company, I'm Bobby Biggers along with Scott Chapman. Scott did the girls' game, if you were present for that, and our director and camera operator, David Peters. So Adam Gossam, I believe, is going to jump center. Nope, Roger Lawson. Roger Lawson's going to be going up against Michael Moore. Michael's supposed to be 6'6" in the program. I don't think Michael's quite that big. Roger Lawson's 6'6", so you have an eyeball at him. There's the toss and there's the tap. It's going to be kicked around and controlled by Gossam for the Trojans. The Trojans on the attack, starting this basketball game in the hands of Martin. Across to John Clemens. Clemens back to Martin. In the corner to Jesse. Bend goes in low to Gossam. Shot up and no good. Ball loose. Picked up by Clemens. Out high, Martin on a jumper. Yes! Chris Martin opens the scoring here as the Trojans had the tap. And they score on their first opportunity, 2-0, as the Andy Fault handles. Over to Brewer. Marcus. Thornton that was, and Andy Fault's now to Brewer. Brewer. Top of the key, Thornton shuffles his feet. Going to be a walking violation against the Scotties. Be a turnover, and the Trojans will bring it out backcourt near side as Adam Gossam stands out to inbound. He bounced pass into Martin. Chris to Jesse. Back to Martin. Over to Clemens. Clemens looking low. Can't find much open down there. He does. Jesse finds Gossam, and Adam puts it in down low for 2 points. 4-0 as the Trojans.
Trojans working well against that Scotty zone.
Trojans in a man-to-man as Thornton handles that front, works against Jesse. Martin is fronting Fault. Michael Moore drives, banks it high off the glass for 2 points right at the top of the lane around the free throw line. 4-2. Trojans with the lead in the basketball game. If you just joined us, we're in the first quarter. 6 minutes and a half remain in the first quarter as John Clemens holds up. Over to Ben Jesse, then to Gossam. Adam puts a little leaner up, no good. Gets his own rebound, goes up strong, off the glass, not there. A third rebound, puts it up and in, and he's going to be called for traveling. Adam working real hard underneath there, Scott.
It sure is.
The big junior gone to war in there early.
Of course, he's going to have to take advantage on those first opportunities instead of trying to get 2 or 3 rebounds.
Scotty's down by 2. Thornton with the basketball. Coming out high is Nick Pointer. To Thornton. Thornton dishes it off to Michael Moore. Moore draws air. Rebounded in there by Martin. Chris in a hurry. Bounce pass over to Jesse. Jesse back to Martin. Chris is shot up and 3. A 3-point effort. 7-2 Trojans. Scotties with the basketball. Of course, the Scotties are in blue. Trojans in their homestanding gold. Andy Fault. Eyeball to eyeball with Martin. And into Pointer down low, covered by Gossam. Pointer puts a move, takes the baseline, puts it up and in. A beautiful shot by Nick Pointer, the junior. 7-4. 5 minutes and 19 seconds. John Clemens looks low for Gossam. Can't find him. Bounce pass over to Jesse. Being shot up. No good. Rebounded by Brewer for the Scotties. Thornton in a hurry as he tries to go up and in. It takes it all the way, coast to coast. It counts. Rod Thornton.
Good move by Rod to find that open lane down the middle and take it, and then made the basket and got called and get to go to the free throw for a 3-point play.
Yes, he can very easily get a 3-point one here if he sinks his free throw, and he'll tie this basketball game up at 7-7, and he does so. 5 minutes left. We've played 3. 7-7 is the score. John Clemens had a notion, drives around Fault, but kicks it back out to Martin. Martin's shot not going to be there. Rod Thornton goes up above everybody for a big defensive rebound. Kicks it over to Brewer. Brewer takes steps as he tried to adjust the pass with his feet and travels. So turnover. Scotties. It will be the Trojans' ball to bring the length of the floor. Martin inbounds to Clemens. John on the dribble. He's looking at a 2-3 Scotty zone as it comes over to Jesse. Ben Back out to Clemens. Shot up, no good. And again, Rod Thornton goes up and pulls it away for the Scotties. Andy Falk wants the baseline. He takes it, kicks back out to Thornton. Nick Pointer for three. Rims around, come out. Big rebound, Ben Jesse. Ben still on his dribble. Picks it up, gives it to Gossam, to Clemens. Clemens drives around Pointer, puts it up and in. John Clemens. 9-7. Barren by 2. Andy Falk in the corner. Lobs it into Pointer. Pointer works against Gossam. Kicks it out on the top of the key. Shot up by Brewer. No good. And the rebound pulled down by big Roger Lawson for the Trojans. Jesse on the dribble. Gossam out high. He leaves it with Clemens. Down low is Lawson. Pass into Gossam. Gossam spins, puts it up and in. The big junior, Adam Gossam.
Looks like they're going to call Adam for a foul. Looks like he lowered his shoulder.
Oh, we're going to have to erase that one, right?
So Adam.
So we have a turnover on the personal foul against Gossam. Score 9-7. Scotties with the basketball. Trojans with the lead. Working the perimeter, looking into a Trojan zone. Andy Falk, shot up, no good. Adam Gossam, Lawson skies and pulls it down. Leaves it with Martin. Over to Clemens, shot up, no, that was Jesse's shot. Clemens after the basketball. Clemens picks it up. Kicks it off to Gossam, shot up and in. Adam Gossam. 11-7. Thornton with the basketball. Trojans with the lead. Thornton takes the baseline, pounces it back, intended for Moore. Moore recovers. Falk open, looks good. It is good for 3 points. Andy Falk. The only senior on this Scotty basketball team. Puts a rainbow up for 3 points. Martin drives, stops at the baseline, pops it, no good. Rebounded by Lawson, kicks out to Jesse. Jesse from the baseline, a little jumper, no, not there. And we have a whistle underneath.
Looks like it's going to be on Lawson.
Yes, the
and
referee
said
said
second foul.
32, Roger Lawson. The big senior has his second personal foul, as Scott said. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Trojans have 1 point lead over the Scotties as Thornton working against Jesse. Gives it to Brewer. Thornton takes it back way deep, top of the key, advances. Tries to go around, it'll bounce pass off to Moore. Back out to Thornton. Thornton says, you leave me open, I'll take it. And he does it. A 3-point play. Rod Thornton. Scotties take the lead by 2, 13-11. Jesse over to Gossam. Gossam penetrates, pops it up there, no good. Pull down, rebound, claimed by Rod Thornton. What'd you say, Scott?
I believe Thornton got lucky on it. It looked like that was a 2 instead of a 3 on that last shot.
They signal a 3?
They call it a 3, so.
Rod Thornton again working against Jesse. Leaves it to Brewer. Brewer fronted by Clemens. Brewer drives the lane and cut off. Out to Falk. Falk sharp going to be shy. Gets his own rebound and he's fouled from the rear. 1 minute and 25 seconds remain in the first period.
It's going to be on Clemens. He picks up his first foul, and that's the team's 4th.
Scotties have failed to pick up a team foul, and as Scott Chapman just said, Barren County has picked up their 4th team foul.
Chad Franklin into the game for the Trojans, replacing Martin.
Chad Franklin, number 3. Thornton stops, pops it, good shot. Rod Thornton puts the Scotties ahead 15-11. Clock moving with 1:10. John Clemens on the dribble, bounces over to Franklin. Franklin back to Clemens. Clemens tries to go around Thornton, cut off. Jesse with it, Jesse back to Clemens. Clemens from long range, no good. Franklin with a rebound. What was the call?
Looks like it was a walk.
Called him for traveling? Of course, Chad Franklin, number 3, played for Glasgow last year, coming off the bench. We got a lot of buddies out there right now.
Scotty
From,
Atwell enters the
both
lineup for
sides.
the Trojans.
Scott Atwell.
Yep.
Okay. Scotty Atwell's a 6'2 sophomore, isn't he? Number 33. He's working against Thornton. Franklin now goes out and takes Thornton. As Thornton puts a move on, kicks it out to Andy Fault. He's cut off down the paint. Thornton working against Franklin. Spins, still on his dribble, penetrates over in the corner to Pointer. Pointer loses it out of bounds. It's going to be Trojans basketball as he couldn't control his dribble. The Trojans basketball to bring the length of the floor. John Clemens on the dribble. 13 seconds remain. Clock moving at 10, 9, 8. Scotties by 4, excuse me. All the way across the Atwell. Kick to Gossam. Gossam working against Pointer. Puts it up, and it's going to count. Adam Gossam. So the Scotties enjoying a 2-point advantage, 15-13 here after 8 minutes of play as the first quarter ends.
Calvert and Nunn Insurance not only offer a variety of policies, but are exceptional in their customer service and up-to-date quotes. Contact Vicki Bartley and her staff for any of your insurance needs. Calvert and Nunn Insurance is next to the Plaza Theater in downtown Glasgow.
So Scott's going to tell us how the scoring went this first quarter. Adam Gossam, he's like Santa Claus. He's every place.
That's right. And first for the Scotties, Thornton had 8 points in that first quarter. Fault had 3, Moore had 2, and Pointer had 2 for Glasgow's 15 points in this first quarter. And for Barren County, John Clemens had 2, Chris Martin had 5, Adam Gossam had 6 for Barren County's 13 points.
Any free throws put up?
Thornton was 1 out of 1. So that's the only free throws of the whole game.
Yeah, that was his 3-point play. After he drove the lane, got fouled, it went in, and then he stepped the line and canned the 1 free throw. Okay, 1 free throw that quarter. Barren County, remember, has 4 team fouls. Scotties have no team fouls. That could be a factor here as we wind down into this second quarter. Near the end of the second quarter, Thornton goes around Franklin, kicks it off on low to Pointer. Pointer in the corner, a bounce pass to...
Looks like we're going to have 3 seconds in the lane on the Scotties.
That was the call, old Eagle Eye, I believe. John Clemens with the basketball. His team down by 2 points as he looks into a Scotty 2-3 to Adwell. Adwell back out to Clemens. To Adwell. Advances a couple of dribbles and shoots it from the baseline. Shot no good. Thornton with the rebound. He spots Andy Fault. Andy can't control.
Looks like he was looking for the layup right then and kind of lost track of the ball.
Loses it out of bounds. It'll be Trojans basketball to bring the length as Thornton comes across on his dribble, picks it up, and over here to Adwell.
Number 12 for Barren County is Brad Duff.
Brad Duff.
And Philip Bertram for the Trojans picks up a foul. So that's Barron's 5th team foul.
Okay, Philip Bertram in, number 45. Brad Duff is number 12. Moore handles for the Scotty. He waits and he gives it to Thornton. Thornton drives and leaves it with Pointer. Thornton's got it now. Chad Franklin moves with him to the top of the key. He drives the lane, kicks it off to Moore. Moore drives in and...
Looks like Moore's going to be called for an offensive foul.
Well, that was a preliminary, that's for sure. Yep.
No, they're going to call it Nick Pointer.
Huh? Little Grant Sturgeon comes in, number 23. Grant's 5'11" sophomore. So he won a game down here. Who was it against, Scott?
That's on Michael Moore. At first they thought it was Nick Pointer, but the referees sorted it out.
Oh, it was against Moore.
So He picks up his first.
John Clemens from long range rims around, jumps back out on him, and the ball's loose on the floor. Battle picked up by Thornton. Thornton Brewer on the lead, and Brewer shot up and in. Marcus Brewer
Picks up his first 2 points of the game.
17-13. Scotties with the lead. Trojans with the basketball. And Sturgeon shot up. No good. We have a whistle.
And that's going to be 3 shots.
So Grant fouled in the act of shooting from three-point range. Automatic. If you don't make it, it's a three-shot foul.
So it looks like we're going to have 3 starters coming back in. Lawson, Gossam, and Martin in for Duff, Bertram, and Clemens.
Chad Franklin, number 3, still in for the Scotties. For the Trojans. At the free throw stripe, Grant Sturgeon puts the first one up. Got it. Hit the side of the rim and rolled in for him. Scotties, number 20, Chris Clay coming in. He's a 5'10" sophomore. And also number 50 is Buster Grider. He's a 6'2.5" sophomore. Grant Sturgeon, second attempt, rims around and comes out. 1 of 2 on this trip. 3-point effort. Grant lays down a couple of dribbles, picks them up, fires it, kicks off the heel of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Chris Clay. He leaves it quickly with Rod Thornton. Franklin comes out to challenge out high. 1-on-1. Baseline shoveled off at the last minute to Moore. Moore shot up. Rose in. Michael Moore. 19-14 Scotties. We played nearly 2 minutes in the second period as Franklin handles on the wing. Kicks it out to Martin, top of the key to Sturgeon. All the way across to Franklin. Franklin drives, stops from the baseline. A jump shot, no, not there. Sturgeon battles the rebound. Thornton wins it. Thornton still on his dribble. Drives, puts it up, no good. And let's see what the call is.
Charge for a charge.
As he collides with Adam Gossam. So Rod Thornton with a personal foul, charging.
Clemens and Jesse back into the lineup for Franklin and Sturgeon.
Scotties with two off the bench in the ball game, and Barren County starting with their original starting lineup as Chris Martin on the dribble. Goes over to Clemens, back to Martin, to Jesse. Ben looks inside, kicks it over to Martin instead. Martin quickly to Clemens. Clemens penetrates. Good move, John Clemens for 2 points. Off the glass. By 3, Scotties. Stolen by Jesse. Pass to Lawson, no good. Put up and in by Adam Gossam. Big Adam's having quite a game. As Chris Clay on the dribble for the Scotties as he comes across and we'll have a turnover. Scotties, what was the call? Double dribble or walk? Or
that's
somebody?
A walking call.
Spectator right in front of me just then.
So Barren County's battling back after trailing.
Scotties by 1. Jesse comes out high to Martin. Jesse lobs it into Gossam, but Buster Grider deflects it and picked up by Clay. Clay, nice pass to Buster Grider. Buster puts it up and in, and he's fouled by, I believe, Lawson. We'll have to wait and see if the goal does count. Nope. 51. Is that what he's? No, what?
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin, number 5. Okay. Looking around, I didn't know 51 was out there. So a 3-point play here is a possibility for Buster Grider. The young sophomore measures a basket, lets it fly too hard off the glass. John Clemens claims it for the Trojans. He's on his dribble. Clay's going to challenge him. It goes over to Gossam out high. Lawson down low. Now we got a high-low with both of them under. As Clemens way deep. Scotties 2-3 zone. Ben Jesse drives, kicks it off at the last second and putting it up. Lawson no good. Gossam with the rebound, puts it back up and just powers it in there. Adam Gossam. Scotties by 1, 21-20 over the Trojans. as Brewer comes to Clay. Chris dribbles, reverses, wants a baseline, cut off by Martin, kicks it back out front. Clay inbounds to Grider, quickly back to shot up and no good by Brewer, claimed by Martin. Number 10 in for the Scotties is Gardner, John Gardner. John Clemens drives, puts it high off the glass, no good, and put it down. Defensive rebound was Brewer as he comes over to Gardner. Gardner to Grider. Grider working on Clemens. He's standing looking right now as he gives it to Clay. Clay into Grider. Grider decides to go up with it, puts it off too hard, comes off. Rebounded by Lawson. Quickly to Martin. Martin takes the paint. Shot no good, but we have a personal foul, maybe a charging. Let's see.
Looks like it's going to be on Roger Lawson.
Pushing.
And that's his third.
So number 45 coming in, Philip Bertram for the Trojans. Going to be replacing Lawson, didn't he? I don't see Lawson out there. Philip Bertram, 45.
Yep. And that's going to put Glasgow's in the bonus. And that'll put Brewer on a free throw line.
Scotties lead by 1, 21-20. There are 3 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the second period as Marcus Brewer fires the first one off the heel. Buster Grider had the rebound momentarily, loses it, and Gossam claims. Adam over to Jesse. Ben stops, he shoots off the edge of the blackboard, gets his own rebound, and this one won't go down. Put it back up. It looked like Bertram.
That's right, it was Philip Bertram.
And Bertram's going to be fouled as he goes up with a rebound. Philip 6'2", Philip Bertram, a sophomore. He doesn't look quite 6'2", but he, when he's with a bunch of the larger fellas underneath there, but he's a good 6'2" when you see him standing by Chris Clay and Andy Fault out there. Marcus Brewer coming out as Nick Pointer comes in for the Scotties. Philip Bertram puts the first one up. Philip, no good. Waiting his second toss. Gives it a little spin. Puts it up there. Rattles, comes off, no good. Buster Grider with a rebound, and he's going to be over the back, I believe. It's going to be John Clemens.
That's right.
How many is that on John?
That's his second.
Okay. Scotty still with 14 fouls, but they are in the bonus situation, so they got 4, 5, 6. They got about 3 to waste, don't they? Buster Grider at the charity stripe. 1-1. First shot up, got it. He earns the right to try it again. Buster lays down about 4 quick dribbles, picks them up, and he fires, and no, somebody was in the lane or stepping on a line or something.
It looks like Gardner got in the lane for Glasgow a little too early.
So it'll be the Trojans basketball. They're down by 2 points with 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Michael Moore coming back in for the Scotties as he relieves Chris Clay. 3 minutes and clock moving as Martin comes across the timeline, still looking into a 2-3 zone as Martin works the perimeter to Jesse. Jesse goes into big Adam. Adam stops and shoots it up. No good, and rebounded by Michael Moore for the Scotties. John Gardner working against Jesse. John off of his knee, but I believe he's going to be called for traveling, and he was.
Gardner's complaining he got pushed right there.
Yeah, I think he had a little assist there, don't you?
I think so.
Trojans looking to tie this one up, or with a three-pointer, they can go 1 point ahead. As Jesse all the way across to Clemens. Pointer tries to clear out the baseline. Shot up, no good by Martin. Rebounded by Moore for the Scotties. Leaves it with Pointer back to Gardner. Jesse working on Gardner. Andy Fault in the paint to Moore. Has it taken away as Martin Controls for the Trojans to Jesse. Jesse, nice inlet pass, and Gossum's turnaround, no good. Buster Grider claims it for the Scotties, leaves it with John Gardner. Trojans still down by 2, 22-20 to the Scotties. Clock showing 1 minute and 43 seconds as Andy Fault works against Clemens, goes to Pointer. Martin right with Pointer, dogging him. He stops. He's looking for some help. He finds it in Gardner. Gardner to Fault. Fault loses the handle on it. Loose ball picked up by Ben Jesse, and Ben's going to be fouled by John Gardner. Well, that was a personal foul against John Gardner, but if you're a coach, you'd say that was a good foul.
You're absolutely right, because that'd probably been an easy 2, and if he missed it, John Clemens is right there behind him to probably put it back in. So that's a good foul by Gardner.
So it was a 2-on-1, and Scott described it beautifully for you. Ben Jesse been to the free throw stripe yet?
No, he
this
hasn't.
evening?
This will be his attempt at his first points of the game.
Lifts it up, and good. Down by 1. Jesse's wanting to tie it up, does so. 22-22. Minute 21 seconds remain in this first half here at Trojan Gym. Chris Clay in. He takes the lane as he tried to drive around Bertram, that is.
It's going to be on Bertram.
And Bertram gives him a little body, and he's going to be a personal foul and a 1-and-1 bonus situation for Chris Clay for the Scotties. Clock arrested with 1 minute and 12 seconds. Chris Clay measures and fires. He's got it. Sophomore waiting for his second toss. Picks up about 3 dribbles and fires it. Got them both. Chris Clay puts the blue team ahead by 2 points, 24-22. Ben Jesse. Martin over to Chad Franklin in for the Trojans. Number 3, Ben Jesse. Cut off from baseline, and Gossam a behind the back pass intended for Bertram, but it goes astray. We have a personal foul.
It's going to be on Chad Franklin, number 3.
And Chad Franklin's going to be whistled for it.
That's a good pass by Adam right there. It looked like Phillip was, Bertram didn't expect it.
Adams doing it all, isn't he?
He sure is.
Number 21 coming in for the Trojans.
Nate Harris.
Let me write that down on.
And 33.
I don't have a program in front of me. Harris, 21.
Yep. 33, Scotty Adderall. 23, Grant Sturgeon. Also in for the Trojans.
First one up by Andy Fault, good. Gives his Scotties a 3-point advantage with 54 seconds on the clock. Andy Fault's second shot up and in. 26-22. Scotties with the lead. Trojans with the basketball. Martin goes over to Sturgeon. Sturgeon all the way back cross court to Adwell. Adwell finds Gossam open on a good assist. Scotty Atwell to Adam Gossam. A run out and up and in by Andy Fault for the Scotties. 28-24 is the Scotties answer real quickly. Clock moving with 27 seconds. Martin looks over and checks with Coach Riley. Sure, he says go for the flash shot. As Martin not going to be challenged. Scotties stay in their 2-3. They're not coming out after him. Showing 12 seconds, 11. 10-9, and Adwell all the way across the court, and the shot was set up for Sturgeon. Down low, got to travel. That play was set up for Sturgeon over there, wasn't it, Scott?
It sure was.
We saw him win one game down here. Clay with a long one as time expires in the second half. So after 16 minutes of basketball, the Glasgow Scotties leading the Barren County Trojans by a score of 28-24.
Calvert and Nunn Insurance not only offer a variety of policies, but are exceptional in their customer service and up-to-date quotes. Contact Vicki Bartley and her staff for any of your insurance needs. Calvert and Nunn Insurance is next to the Plaza Theater in downtown Glasgow.
A lot of youngsters seeing some playing time as both teams in an up-tempo mode as the crosstown rivalry continues, a good friendly rivalry, and you see this gymnasium, and if you was out to Scotty Gym, you'd see it full. But they've got all the bleachers pulled out, not crowded, but they're dispersed completely around this gymnasium. And for a away game, when the Scotties come down here, or the Trojans go out to Scotties, that's Scotty Gym, that's considered a away game, and it sure saves a lot of gas and a lot of mileage. As we came in, it was sort of spitting snow on it, Scott.
It sure was. So
okay, Scott, if you were ready to tell us what happened that first half.
Okay, first for the visitors, the Glasgow Scotties. Thornton had 8 points. Andy Font had 7. Michael Moore had 4. Marcus Brewer had 2. Nick Pointer had 2. Chris Clay had 2. And Buster Gratter had 3 for the Scotties. And the Scotties scored 13 points in that second quarter for a total of 28. And for the Barren County Trojans, who scored 11 points in that second quarter, John Clemens had a total of 4 points in that first half. Chris Martin had 5. Ben Jesse had 2. Adam Gossam had 12 points. Grant Sturgeon had 1 for the Trojans. So Adam Gossam for Barren County is leading all scorers with 12 points in this game.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Again, the halftime score, Glasgow 28, Barren County 24. And as we always try to recognize and mention every ball game, wherever we are, we're so very appreciative of the Barren County School Administration for allowing us to be a part of high school basketball. We want to thank Coach Steve Riley, Lex Lindsay, and Brad Johnson, the coaches of the boys basketball program, and John Butler, Joanna James, and Gary Gross of the girls Trojanettes. And of course, the principal here at Barren County High School, Mr. Charlie Campbell. The superintendent of schools, Charlie Campbell. The principal is Ed Holbrook. Terry Reed, Marvin Witcher are assistant principals, and Bobby Steenberg in the athletic director. Two very good athletic directors and cooperate with us. Bobby Steenbergen from the Trojans, and the Glasgow Scotties. We're always happy to be out there too. We try to come to them both. We're trying to work out a situation where we can bring all the home games of Glasgow and all the home games of the Trojans, but maybe we'll get on that after the first of the year when we get our personnel back. But as I said, Bobby Steenbergen always very, very cooperative down here. And, of course, Terry Flatt, his counterpart at Glasgow High School athletic director. While we're talking about athletic directors, we'll just go ahead and mention since this is a local broadcast, the superintendent of the Glasgow schools, Dr. Dwayne Tennant, the principal out at the high school. Just talked to him a few moments ago, Mr. Jimmy Nelson. Assistant principal out there is Charles Turner, and head coach, of course, Donnie Owen and Randy Wilkins are the assistant coaches. But we're very, very proud of these two school systems. We're proud of both of these schools, and some very nice administration and teachers and a whole ball of wax students, and we're just tickled to death, aren't we, Scott?
We sure are.
We're just happy to be here.
That's right.
Okay, for Telescripts Cape Colony, we're going to take just a few minutes break as we catch our breath. We're just a few moments away from the start of this second half here at Barren County High School Gym, so don't go away. So we have 16 minutes of basketball left, Scott.
We sure do, and Glasgow has a 4-point lead, 28-24 over the home team, the Barren County Trojans. Barren County against Glasgow zone is going to have to try to work it inside a little bit more. Looks like they're taking a lot of threes on the perimeter, some, well behind the line, and they're not getting it there.
Scott, touch on the, we expect to see a little bit more pressing defenses by either one of these basketball teams. I want you to elaborate on that in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Adam Gossam stands out. He inbounds it to Chris Martin. Martin to John Clemens. John working against Andy Fault and driving, shooting, rattles and falls through is Ben Jesse's shot.
Barren County did something they didn't do in the first half, and they attacked the zone, and then when they attacked it, they kicked it out, and they left some guys open.
Okay, Scotties go into their center, Michael Moore. Back to Moore again. Moore spins and shoots, and shot over Harris, and it goes out of bounds. Harris in there right now for the Trojans. Number 21, Nathan Harris. Nathan's a senior. Shot up by Pointer. Yes, Nick Pointer. Nick Pointer can burn you over there in that corner. He's good dead away at the top of the key, too, from behind the arc. John Clemens holds it up and goes over to Martin. Martin to Jesse. Jesse's hot as he hits his second basket in a row. 26-31. 28-31, that is. Scotties with the lead and the basketball in the hands of Thornton as he's dribbling in front of Jesse. Back to Thornton. Jesse comes out and challenges him. Goes in low to Pointer. Pointer working against Gossam. Mismatch there as Andy Fault goes up and fires it in. Was that a three-pointer?
I don't know right yet. We're going to find out.
I think he's want to check that other referee.
And it is.
Andy Fault was fouled in the act of shooting. So here's a rarity you don't see every day of the world, or every evening of the world, as a 4-point attempt. 3 points. It was good, and now he gets the free throw, fouled in the act of shooting. 4-point effort by Andy Fault for the Scotties, 35-28. Scotties with the lead. Trojans with the basketball as Jesse holds it up. Gives it to Martin, to John Clemens. John fires it in. Nope, no good. Nick Pointer claims it for the Scotties. He leaves it quickly with Thornton. Ben Jesse tracks him down. Still on his dribble, Thornton. Jesse comes out high with him. Wants to go around him, penetrates, just stops and leans and shoots a little one-hander from about 5 feet. Good, Rod Thornton. 37-28, Scotties. Jesse on the dribble, picks it up, leaves it with Martin. Martin's going to try a long range, no good. Gossam with the rebound, put it back up off the glass. Had good position down in there, though. Right on the blocks, back up and in. Scotties ahead by 7. Thornton with the basketball. Leaves it with Brewer. Jesse picks up Brewer. He and Clemens switched. Thornton up, and we have a whistle. And it's going to be a foul called against probably Ben Jesse.
I thought that was good defense right there by Ben Jesse. Kind of forced Thornton to change his shot a little bit, but still picked up the foul.
So that's the second team foul against the Trojans here at the opening of this second half. Shot up and through for Rod Thornton. 5 minutes and 37 seconds we have remaining in this second period as Thornton's third period is Thornton's second shot good. We are in the third period, second half. 5:30 left in the third period. 39-30 by 9. Scotties. Ben Jesse drives the baseline. He's going to be fouled.
Looks like they're going to be on Michael Moore.
Michael Moore. Michael's stayed relatively, that's only his second personal foul. Sometimes he's, when he battles underneath there, the body's pushing around everything. Michael picks up some early fouls, but he's staying good and clean so far. Not everybody in either team, I think, in dangerous foul trouble is there, Scott.
Roger Lawson has 3 for the Trojans, and that's about it.
Yeah, they lost Roger early. Ben Jesse makes his Trip to the free throw line profitable as he sinks both free throws. 39-32. Glasgow. As Jesse backs up. Right with Thornton. Nick Pointer. Did a little fake. Drives around Adam Gossam. Puts it up. No good. Battle for the rebound. And Pointer and Sturgeon come down and tie it up. And it's going to be a jump ball there. Favorable to the Scotties as Thornton stands out underneath his own basket. Kicks it out to Fault. Sturgeon with him. Thornton working against Jesse. He's bumped and puts it up. No good. Nick Pointer chases it down and retrieves for the Scotties. All the way across the court. Intended for Thornton. Is going to be intercepted by Ben Jesse. Ben still on his dribble. Stops and shoots. No good. What do we got?
It looks like we're going to have a foul. Looks like maybe on Brewer, number 24.
Before Jesse got his shot away?
Yeah, before.
Foul on the baseline underneath, wasn't it?
Yep. So we're going to have the Trojans take it out underneath.
4 minutes and 46 seconds. 39-32. Scotties with the lead. Ben Jesse with the basketball underneath his own basket. Comes out to Sturgeon in the corner. Across to Clemens. Scotty still working out of a 2-3. Sturgeon shot up. Bounces high. Bounces again. No good. Gossam claims. Puts it back up, and he's going to be fouled. You know, Scotty's seen them play some this year, and they're aggressive man-to-man defense, trapping, full court pressure. We haven't seen them in that. Barren County, good pressure defense team. We haven't seen them in it, especially, have we, Scott?
No, we haven't. I think probably both teams are afraid of certain people if they do press.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we ain't seen both teams.
You'll see the only time that Barren County put any press on was when Thornton was on the bench for the Scotties, taking a breather. So they respect each other's pressing defense. And so we have a little detente here maybe. Adam Gossam's shot up. Rattle spins and decides to stay for him. 39-34 as the Trojans cutting into this Scotty lead slowly. Thornton holds up one thumb. Buster Grider in for the Scotty. He has the basketball right now, number 50, over to Thornton. Flashing out to covering Jesse. Fault. Into Grider. Being fronted by Lawson. Now it goes out high to Thornton. Thornton gets around Ben Jesse. Jesse sticks a hip out.
Looks like it's going to be on Chad Franklin.
Somebody stuck something out.
No, number 10, Ben Jesse.
Yeah, Ben Jesse looked like he sort of gave him, brushed him with his hip as he drove. So Scotty's basketball, personal foul against the Trojans, and Thornton inbounds it to Brewer. Brewer back to Thornton. Palming it, turning it over. Seen that called a couple of times tonight. You don't see it. It's not too terribly common, but they could call it more than they do, but they have called it twice tonight. Clemens around the horn to Franklin and into Gossam. Gossam dumps it off low, put up by Jesse, no good. Rebound by Buster Grider. He has it knocked out of his hands by Jesse.
Looks like Ben got caught too far underneath the goal right there.
He was under, wasn't he? So we see a little pressure defense here as inbounded to Pointer. Nick going to go against Gossam. He's going to get some help. Thornton takes it to the wing to Brewer. Brewer dumps off to Grider. Buster's shot for the baseline, no good. Adam Gossam with an uncontested rebound and leaves it with John Clemens. Clock showing 3:26 as up and in. A shot by John Clemens. Good. And Andy Fault spins. Little out of control. Goes off the glass and he goes on the floor. 5 on 4 and put it up and in is Adam Gossam. Adam Gossam's playing one of the better games I've ever seen that young man play. Got a lot of potential and he's just a junior.
So Adam Gossam gets the basket and the foul for a three-point play. And Coach Donnie Owens is a little upset right there because looked like the referee was going to call a charge on Adam and then change his mind and call a block on Nick Pointer.
He had his hand already on the back of his head, evidently. This basketball game is tied up at, excuse me, no, it's not. It's Scotties. Yes, it is tied up, 39-39. So the halftime advantage enjoyed by the Scotties. The score at halftime was 28-20. What was it, 28-24?
Yep. And Chad Franklin's going to be called for a foul.
Chad Franklin, number 3 for the Trojans. He's a 6-foot junior. Whistle for the personal foul. That was his second. Thornton on the dribble, crosses the timeline. Ben Jesse right with him. Quickly to Brewer. Brewer's facing up against Franklin. Goes into the lane. Stops, shoots, no good. 2 Trojans underneath for the rebound. Claimed by Clemens. To Franklin. Franklin all the way across the court to Jesse. Jesse wants the baseline. He's cut off. Fault slaps it away. Jesse, and little bounce pass goes off the foot of Thornton.
Ben looks like he's a little out of control right there, trying to force something that isn't there.
Scotty Atwell in, number 33 for the Trojans. He was in there the last few seconds. Adam Gossam coming in. Franklin handles over the cross to corner to Clemens, and Clemens buries it from three-point land. John Clemens.
And that's their first lead since the first quarter.
As they go 3 points ahead, and up and in on the shot by Grider. Buster Grider. I said it with a question mark because I couldn't see that well. By 1. Trojans with the lead. John Clemens looks hard. Nope, no good. Rebounded by Atwell. Back out to Clemens, and he's going to take steps. Got a little jump start there, and he shuffled his feet, and it's going to be Scotty's basketball to bring the length of the floor as the Trojans going to apply some token pressure here. Now Franklin gets some assistance.
So now Glasgow Barren County is pressing, but they're pressing when Ryan Thornton's throwing the ball in.
Yeah, they don't. That's a good observation. They surely are. Thornton being fronted by Franklin. Hands of Brewer. Gossam comes out and picks him up. Brewer stops, puts the brakes on, slides, but gets it to Thornton. Thornton shot up and in. Rod Thornton. Little junior cans another one. He's got a pocket full of them, doesn't he?
He's got 6 points this quarter.
Atwell into Lawson, and Lawson dumps it off to the baseline to Gossam. Gossam goes up with a shot, and he's going to be fouled by whom?
Looks like 50, Buster Grider.
Buster Grider. Ben Jesse back in the ball game. Roger Lawson coming out. Chris Clay in for the Scotties, number 20. As Adam Gossam. (6'5.5" junior. Makes it look easy as he cans them both. Adam Gossam. 1.5 remain in the third period. 43-44. Trojans with a 1-point lead. Thornton rifles one in under to Buster Grider and through his hands and out of bounds. As it will be the Trojans basketball to bring the length of the floor. What was that missile that just hit me?
I don't know. I think we have
some children playing in the area. Martin to Jesse. Jesse's going to travel as he shuffles his feet. So turnovers on both ends of the floor real quickly. Trojans by 1. Clay throws it in low to Brewer. Brewer spins, shoots, no good. Battles for the rebound, and he goes out of bounds, and it's going to be who's basketball?
It's going to be Glasgow ball, looks like.
Okay, Scotty's with it. Thornton stands out to inbound, slaps the ball to Clay. Clay drives, stops, shoots, rims around and comes out, rebounded by Gossam. Quickly to Jesse. Jesse lays cut down a couple of dribbles. Nice little jump shot. Didn't go for him. And Brewer in a hurry the other way. Takes it up and just scoops it up over the rim. Marcus Brewer. 45-44. Scotties take a 1-point lead. John Clemens. Pass intended underneath for Gossam. It's going to be taken by Brewer. 2-on-1. Brewer up. Rolls in. Marcus Brewer. 47-44. Scotties with the lead. Martin with the basketball as he goes to Clemens. Back, bounce pass back to Martin. Martin's looking into that 2-3 Scotty zone. He looks over at John Clemens. He moves to the right to Jesse. Jesse into Gossam. Gossam spins, turns, shoots. Nope, not there. Rebounded and loose ball picked up by Martin. Martin fires it as a buzzer ends the third quarter. Scotties battle back and lead by 3, 47-44. They led by 4 at the halftime, 28-24. They lead now 47-44. So Barren County cut 1 point off that lead, and they actually went ahead in that third period by 3 points on a 3-point effort by, let's see, was it John Clemens 3 that put the Trojans up by 3?
It sure was.
About 3/4 of the way through the quarter. So here there at the end of the third period, 47-44. We have 8 minutes of basketball left, and the mathematical wizard, Scott Chapman, is busy little pencil. Just, I smell the carbon burning from over here.
Calvert and Nunn Insurance not only offer a variety of policies, but are exceptional in their customer service and up-to-date quotes. Contact Vicki Bartley and her staff for any of your insurance needs. Calvert and Nunn Insurance is next to the Plaza Theater in downtown Glasgow.
For Glasgow in that quarter, Thornton had 6 points, Fault had 4, Brewer had 4, Pointer had 3, and Grider had 2. And for Barren County real quick, Clemens had 5, Ben Jesse had 6, Adam Gossam had 9 points that quarter for Barron's 20 points. So Adam Gossam
continues to be a thorn in the side of the Scotties, doesn't he?
He sure does.
So here we go. Martin with it back to John Clemens. Clemens on his dribble. Bounce pace over to Jesse, back to Clemens. Clemens circles high, working the perimeter, looking at the Scotty zone, and then he penetrates and shoots and sinks it. John Clemens. 47-46, Scotties by 1, coming all the way. Brewer kicks it over to the wing to Brewer. Thornton did, and it's going to be deflected and going to be claimed by the Trojans. Clemens with it to Martin, back to Clemens. To Martin. Martin going to try for a 3-pointer, and he's got it. Yes, sir. Chris Martin. 47-49, Trojans with the lead. Clay answers, no, it wasn't there, and rebounded Clemens. A lead pass to Ben Jesse. Jesse, no, blew it off the glass. Didn't quite get it high enough into the sweet square up there, and Marcus Brewer shot no good there. To claim the rebound was Roger Lawson. Found himself alone on the basket, pulled it away. Clemens with it. To Martin. Clemens. Clemens going to travel again. He's got a little stutter step he gets when he starts his lateral movement and he shuffles his feet. Trojans lead by 2 points, 49-47.
Barren County doing a little bit better offensively here in this fourth quarter.
Steve Riley calling for the rest of the Trojans come up and pressure defense as Andy Fault has it. To Rod Thornton. Rod Thornton goes the lane, stops, dumps it off the last seconds to Moore, and Moore puts it in. Rod Thornton's penetration and excellent pass to Moore produces 2 points for the Scotties. Jesse answers, shot up, no good, and over the back's Thornton. And be whistled for a personal foul.
That'll be hit third.
This basketball game is tied up. No free throws involved as the Scotties have 4 team fouls and, 6 team fouls, and the Trojans have 4 team fouls. Ben Jesse to Chris Martin. Jesse looks, holds it up, goes all the way across to Clemens. Martin, Jesse penetrates, stops, shoots, got it. Boy, you get in the middle of that zone and you can do some damage, and they're doing it real well right now.
That's right, they sure can.
Thornton with it. Thornton drives, dumps it off to Michael Moore. Michael in trouble, spins, shoots, shot no good, and rebounded, taken by Martin. As Gossam and Lawson went up both for it and had both of them had their hands on it, thought they was going to get called for traveling there, Scott. Sometimes that happens. Ben Jesse's shot up good. Ben Jesse run out. Andy Fault keeps his dribble as he slips. And he saw Thornton over on the wing, and he fires it across, but Thornton in the meantime had moved to the top of the key, and the pass sails out of bounds. So score being 53 for Barren County, 49 for the Scotties. Comments there, Scott Chapman?
Well, Barren County offensively is taking it more to the basket instead of kind of relying on some of the perimeter shots that they have earlier in the game. And Glasgow's just a little bit out of control here in this fourth quarter, as they only have 2 points to Barren County's 9 points here in this fourth quarter.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see when Thornton. We talked about it when he's on the bench. Barren County presses, and now that he's inbounding, Barren County puts the pressure defense, full court pressure, half court traps, and etc. So now it's going to be interesting to see if Coach Donnie Owens for the Scotties, if they can run just a stifling press themselves, and we haven't seen that much of anything much tonight, so maybe they're just pacing themselves, and we may see both teams going into a little bit more pressure. So we'll have to see. They've been backing off in the half court.
Looks like a half court trap by Glasgow.
Yep. It was then. Shot up, bounces, no good by Jesse. Parner with the basketball for the Scotties. He leaves it quickly with Thornton. Thornton doesn't waste a lot of time as he comes up the floor, and he drives, dumps it off to Moore, but standing in, and Clemens with the steal. John had a notion to pass it. He could see Lawson on the right side, and he could see Ben Jesse on the left side, and just couldn't get it and traveled with it. Scotties down by 4 to the Trojans, as it'll be Scotty basketball. Thornton, Chad Franklin coming across the line with him. He's going to be double teamed by Clemens and Franklin. He needs some help. He tries to get it over to Andy Fault, and Andy tries a nice volleyball bat back in. It was way over his head.
So both teams are throwing something new at each other. Glasgow with a half-court trap, and then Barren County pressing or trapping it, matter of fact, when they cross the half-court line.
4 minutes and a half remaining in this basketball game, 53-49. Scotties look like they're in a 3-2. Comes in the middle to Gossam. Gossam fires it over to Franklin. Franklin's shot no good. Rebounded by Thornton for the Scotties. To Fault. Fault had slipped and fallen down in the meantime, and he was on his knees, and he tried to get his hand up. Scotty's playing very ragged right now. In the last few seconds, Barren County hasn't looked that good either, have they?
No, they haven't, but in this up-tempo kind of game, it looks like Barren County's having the advantage as they have more people to play than Glasgow does.
Now they're going into a... See if they come out of that zone. They're in a
little half-court trap that usually works. We're going to have a block. Looks like if that's Thornton, that'd be 4 on him.
Well, they can't get too aggressive. If they lose Thornton, they've lost a large percentage of their offense.
That's right, and plus they lose some ball handling skills too, and that might hurt Glasgow.
That'll send John Clemens to the free throw line.
So that Glasgow foul right there put Barren County in the bonus.
John Clemens' first shot up, rings it. Clemens measures the basket, lets his toss go, got it. 55-49. Trojans with the lead. Scotties with the basketball, and Clemens going to be whistled for a foul on Brewer.
It's going to be Clemens' third.
Scotties will have the basketball far side back court as the Trojans join him down there. A run out.
Looks like Thornton probably had a wide open layup right there, and it's probably what he's thinking, and then lost sight of the ball and lost it out of bounds.
Referee really eyed Brewer then. He gave his eye on him all the way down the floor as Marcus tried to save the basketball and
Brewer looks
turned
like
his ankle.
And it looks like he's got an ankle brace on the right foot anyway, so it might be that same ankle.
When he took the ball and he set it down rather hard on the floor, the referee thought, well, wait a minute here. And boy, he kept his eyeball on him all the way down the floor, and then he found out that he might have been injured. Corner putting a lot of pressure on Jesse, but Trojans in their offense right now. As Brewer is definitely hobbled. He cannot even move. As he's on the floor again, a drive put up by John Clemens, no good. Corner with a rebound. Leaves it with Thornton out high. Clemens challenges him, and Scotties want a timeout as Brewer's suffering very badly.
It looks like we're going to have number 20, Chris Clay, come in the ballgame for him.
So 55-49, the clock showing 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Glasgow only has 2 points in this fourth quarter. So they're struggling offensively.
Both cheerleading units out on the floor. Scotty's cheerleading coach, Laurie Sebo. Of course, Barren County, congratulations on their recent competition. Their coach is Teresa Bewley. It's always amazed me in cheerleading anyway, Scott, they always say they're sponsors. Man, those people are coaches. Those girls are athletes.
Some very good athletes, too.
Yes, they are. Put a lot of hours in, don't they? So with 3 minutes and 24 seconds, as I said earlier, not much time left in this basketball game, but a lot of action can take place in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. 55-49 to remind you again of the score. Trojans with the lead. As we have a little huddle out there, and Pointer breaks out of it. Leaves it in the hands of Thornton quickly. Jesse. Thornton fronted by Jesse. Jesse will be dreaming of Thornton tonight, won't he? He's been nearly eyeball and eyeball with him all night long. Thornton handles. Rod's going to pop it. Shot up. Bounces high. No good. Adam Gossam with the rebound for the Trojans.
That might have been a bad shot right there. Glasgow struggling. They should have probably tried for something inside right there in that trip.
Scotty's doing a good job on the half court. Got a timeout. I think Martin saw himself trapped getting in a little hot water on this corner here, and he flashed a tee for the timeout. So Trojans take a timeout. Timeout on the floor. Score remains as it was when we first resumed play, 55-49. The clock showing a little difference, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Scott, next week, let's see what we got coming up for these two schools. The boys varsity on January the 6th will be going to Ohio County. That'll be a JV game and a varsity game featuring the boys basketball. Now, the girls varsity will be going in action January the 5th as they travel to Elizabethtown. No, they don't. They play at home, don't they?
They sure do.
Okay, Elizabethtown. They'll be down here. It's a 5:30 start, and it'll be a JV game girls and then followed by a varsity game girls. Now, that's January the 5th. As I said earlier, the boys will be on the road to Ohio County in a varsity JV game the 6th. Gave you Glasgow's next game momentarily as we have Gossam with it, driving down, putting it up off the glass with authority as Adam Gossam. What a game he's had this evening.
That's his 23rd point.
He's played it all the way around, hasn't he? Rod Thornton goes to the baseline and goes up with a jump shot, and he's going to be fouled by Ben Jesse.
So we have 3 people with 3 fouls for Barren County: Clemens, Lawson, and Jesse. And for Glasgow, Thornton has 4, Moore has 3.
Team foul 6. Andy Fault going up in the traffic, going to be shy as it's pulled off. The rebound pulled off by Scotty Adwell, and we have a jump ball.
Yep.
Possession, Barren County. Scotty's in the press. Thornton almost intercepted off a good defensive effort there by Nick Horner, I believe, got a foot on it out of bounds as the numbers were in favor of Barren County. 2:01 left in this basketball game. Clemens inbound it. Martin handles. Martin pointed by Clay as he drifts out to center court. Back to John Clemens. Clemens draws Clay out to him. Scotty's going to come out, put pressure on him. Atwell, Scotty shot up. Good! Scotty Atwell, the 6'2" sophomore. Andy Fault takes the long pass. He just holds it. He's being fronted by Martin as it goes into Michael Moore, and Adam Gossham's going to go across his back. Scotties will be at Russellville January the 5th for a boy-girl game. That's a 6 o'clock start at Elizabethtown. Of course, Elizabethtown's fast time, but it'll still be local time. It'll be a 6 o'clock start for the fans that wish to go up there. We'd like to give the area schedules, get out and support these youngsters. They mighty fine young men and young women. They like to see you come down and be a part of it. Gossam out high. Gossam on his dribble. Quickly gets away with to Jesse. Clock moving with 1:16. To remind you, 59-49 the score. Barren County by 10. Content with moving the clock. Gossam missed. Tap up, no good. Trojans still in control. Martin with it to Jesse. Jesse circles back out to Martin. 54 seconds. So Scotty's going to have to foul, and Andy Falk comes in and commits a foul on Martin. So it looks like the Trojans right now coming on for having a very good second half. And are going to pull this one out. They're looking to improve their record to 6-4. Nick Point partially blocked. Going to rebounded by Lawson. He leaves it with John Clemens. 36 seconds, 35 seconds. Bound pass over to Lawson. Bounce pass to Gossam, and Adam up and in. Let's see what the call is.
Looks like there's a foul over there where Roger had it in the corner. a foul was on Rod Thornton, so that was his 5th.
So Thornton leaves the basketball game, fouling out. Lawson been playing for a long time. Of course, he sat out quite a while with 4 personal fouls. But he's at the free throw line right now. Shot up no good. Nick Pointer with the rebound. Clock moving at 27 seconds. Michael Moore out deep, fires it in under to J.R. Wade's in there for the Scotties, and shot up no good. Gossam with the rebound. He's done it all tonight. Have a whistle. A lot of fans standing up in front of us, and we can't see, but we think that he was maybe slapped or hacked. But anyway, Adam Gossam to the free throw line. 16 seconds on the clock. By 10, Barren County with the lead as a host of substitutes comes in. Look, coming in here for Barren County. Can you give them real quickly, Scott?
I will try. See, 24, Brandon Mosby. 14 is Jamie Edwards. 40, Justin Wood. And 44, Matt Clemens. In for the Trojans.
Thank you, ex-Trojan. Got some misses. Moore with the rebound. Michael tries one from three-point land. No good. Trojans, Gossam. Outlet pass, and he just content to move back. He's showing 3 seconds, 2 seconds. 1 second. Basketball game. This one belongs to the Trojans by a score of 59-49. So that ends the first meeting this year of the Trojans and the Scotties. I don't know whether they play. That's a district game, incidentally. A very important game for both of these basketball teams. As you're seeded in the district, as you well know. They've got to go to Scotty Gym the 17th. It'll be a boys-girls games the 17th of January. So they will be traveling out. They play them twice in January. Of course, it's being January the 3rd. Then they go out to Scotty Gym the 17th for a boy-girl competition. I gave you the games earlier, so get out and support your team. And Scott Chapman's about ready to tell us how this basketball game went scoring-wise.
Okay. Let's first mention that in that fourth quarter, Barren County outscored Glasgow 15-2 in that fourth quarter. So, and Glasgow, Michael Moore had the only 2 points in that fourth quarter for the Scotties. For Barren County, Clemens had 4 in the quarter. Martin had 3. Jesse had 4. Adam Gossam had 2. And Scotty Edward had 2. And for the game, Rod Thornton had 14 points. Andy Font had 11. Michael Moore had 6. Marcus Brewer had 8. Nick Pointer had 5. Chris Clay 2. And Buster Grutter had 8 points for Glasgow's 49 total points. For the Trojans of Barren County, Clemens had 13. Chris Martin had 8. Ben Jesse 12. Chad Franklin 0. Grant Sturgeon had 1. Scotty Edward had 2. And Adam Gossam led all scorers with 23 points.
Well, Scott, just a super basketball. You played with Adam. Of course, Scott Chapman graduated down here last year. Does it seem like it's been a whole year since you left, Scotty?
It seems longer than that.
Does it really?
No, it doesn't seem that long, but...
well, you get awful restless up here. When the going gets tough, you start squirming.
Yeah, I get a little excited, and I kind of wish I was back out there on that court playing.
Well, you played with Adam. He seems like an awful. He's got a lot of potential, doesn't he? You could see that last year, and he's really come on strong. Had a wonderful game here tonight. I don't know how many rebounds. We don't keep those stats, but he had a slew of rebounds and played good defense. And if most valuable player award, my vote would be tonight would be to go to Adam Gossam.
You're absolutely right. He played tremendous on both ends. You know,
yeah, he played the complete floor. So, has you want to add anything else, Scotty?
No, that's about it.
Okay, so again, the final score: the Barren County Trojans 59, the Glasgow High School Scotties 49. So, for Telescripts Cable Company, we hope you enjoyed the replay. If you can work it in, come on down and be a part of high school basketball by supporting your team of your choice. But get out in front of the youngsters. But if you can't make it, you be sure and watch the replays on Telescripts Cable Company. So for Scott Chapman, for David Peters, I'm Bobby Biggers. Thank you for joining us. You drive safely, you buckle up, you take care of yourself, and have a good rest of the week.
Calvert and Nunn Insurance not only offer a variety of policies, but are exceptional in their customer service and up-to-date quotes. Contact Vicki Bartley and her staff for any of your insurance needs. Calvert and Nunn Insurance is next to the Plaza Theater in downtown Glasgow.